Today I'm going to talk about mallet dampening and how it can be applied to simple solo playing techniques. If you're playing a melody and you want to put in some nice sustained chordal sounds to support that melody, you're probably going to find you're going to want to dampen the melody line to make sure the melody stays nice and clean and clear. You won't be able to use your pedal. Your pedal will be down a lot of the time to keep the chord that you're playing ringing. So a simple example of that would be a little excerpt from a tune here. Watch the melody part. It's a little simple scale, and the pedal is going to be staying down to leave the chords. So here we go. So the melody, when it was moving in an upward direction, I was dampening the notes, especially because they were moving in steps. You know, you don't want to let those notes ring together. Would not sound good. So if you have two hands that you can use to do your mallet dampening, in this case we do because the accompaniment is just a bunch of block chords, then use one hand to play the melody, the other hand to follow behind and clean up the notes that it just played. So one hand is playing, one hand is pressing. Play, press, play, press. The hands are going to be coming down almost exactly together so that you get a nice legato sound. You don't want to press out the note until the last second before you play a new note. Think legato, nice clear legato. So here's the melody played by itself with the mallet dampening. So when the melody is moving up, the right hand is playing the notes, the left hand's following behind, and when the melody is moving down, the left hand plays and the right hand follows behind. And that way you can put a nice chordal sound in there. Simple, nice, solid solo technique. Now sometimes you may want to accompany your melody with some animated rather than block chord sounds, and so your left hand is not always going to be available to help out your right. In that case you can do some dampening with one hand. Here's a way to do some simple passages with one hand. Again, if the melody is moving in steps, you can play a note and then play a new note and slide back real quick and dampen out the note you just played. And then you can go down. This is a real basic technique. You play and slide back real quick and dampen out the old note. Again, remember here we're talking about melody lines in steps, half and whole steps. If the melody's moving, you know, in larger intervals, outlining a triad or something, or moving in thirds or fourths, you can often let those notes ring together. That isn't going to be so much of a problem, but there's those stepwise melodies where you're going to have some trouble. So here's a little melody. Watch for the one-handed techniques where I'm going to be doing some sliding, and the left hand is going to be busy down here doing this stuff, so I'm not going to be able to use it to help. So here it is. So these little stepwise melodies you can accomplish with these little sliding things, and that'll allow your left hand to stay in motion down here, playing your nice little arpeggios. There's another, if the melodies are moving between the naturals and the accidentals, you can use the flat of your hand to dampen out. You don't need to slide back. That's kind of a hard move to make when you're going in between naturals and accidentals. So what you can do is dampen the note, the natural note, with the flat of your hand here. See, I can kill that note real easily, and then play the next note. Okay, now you can't go the other way, unfortunately. You can't come back. You could use a sliding thing if you needed to come back. Something like that, or just use the pedal if it's possible to do that. Okay, so one-handed techniques, bit more limited application, but can really save the day in a spot where you just need to get rid of a melody note or two. Okay, so that's Mallet Dampening 101.